a lot of times we view God as either a genie in a bottle or a vending machine,
Mm-hmm.
where again, we come before him with, okay, I have a problem and it needs to be solved, or I have a lack and it needs to be filled. I have a need and it needs to be met,
Mm-hmm.
as opposed to, wait a minute, God, you're another personable being with a
Right.
mind, will, and emotions. Emotions is probably the hardest for us to grasp.
Mm-hmm.
God feels for
Because we're
some
like,
reason.
he is just stoic and he's perfect. Like,
Right.
he is perfect, but it's like we imagine him being in this one place all the
Hmm.
time and never having any fluctuation in that. And that's not even in scripture. Like,
Right.
the Bible talks about him weeping and him,
Being upset and
yeah,
angry
being
and,
angry and being
hmm,
joyous and rejoicing, like, so
yeah.
he has a full spectrum of emotion and we completely bypass that.
Absolutely. For some reason, we treat God, the personal being, as like an ideal,
Yeah.
like a just a belief system.
Mm.
And that's how we view the personhood that is God.
Or a
We,
means to an end.
right. The image that I'm trying to portray is that we view God more of a thing than a person,
Yeah,
an ideal
definitely.
than a person. And it can be very easy to fall into the mindset of, oh, I'm just going to put my coin in and get my snack out of the vending machine,
Mm-hmm.
because that's how it works. But if we begin to view God as a personable being, I don't want to say a person because he's beyond personhood,
Right.
right? He's God, ultimately above everything.
Mm-hmm.
But in a very real way, in a very similar way, he's very much like us in that aspect. That's what it
Mm-hmm.
means that we're created in his image.
Yeah.
We have a mind, we have a will, and we have emotions.
Yeah.
And so does God.
Right.
And he wants us to know this about him because he wants to relate to us in all of those ways. If we only come to God because he can offer us something, or we only come to God with the mindset that he is a ideal or a belief system, then we won't be able to interact with him in a way where we can fall in love with him,
Mm-hmm.
where we can have real fluent conversations with him,
Yeah.
where we can talk about the things that he likes, the things that he dislikes, and the reasons why.
Mm-hmm.
It completely closes off most of the conversations that we could have, which in turn closes off most of the relationship possibilities that we could have if we view God as a thing instead of a person.